Today, we're diving straight into a truly fascinating piece of relationship psychology. We are going to unpack Jessica O's framework on dating dynamics. Now, if you've ever wondered how on earth a guy is supposed to stand out in today's hyper-competitive dating landscape without exhausting himself by actually competing, well, you are in for a treat. Wait until you see how this source material completely flips modern dating upside down.
Because, let's face it, here is the core problem. How do you actually stand out when she has endless options? We're talking about a woman who has guys constantly sliding into her DMs, exes hitting her up for a second chance, and men with money, status, and looks all vying for your attention. It's a lot, right? But according to O's, jumping into that arena and trying to compete directly with all those other guys is literally the worst strategy you could possibly choose.
It really boils down to a choice between being the predictable man or the rare man. See, the predictable guy completely blends into the background noise because, well, he's doing exactly what every other guy's doing. But the rare man, he doesn't even bother auditioning. By observing more, talking less, and showing a genuine curiosity about her mind, rather than just fixating on her physical appearance, you completely shift the entire dynamic. This is absolutely crucial because it makes her feel truly seen, rather than just put up on some pedestal. And honestly, that is where real power lies.
All right, let's get into part one, the predictable trap.
So what does this trap actually look like? Let's look at the exact script most guys follow that pretty much guarantees they'll get ignored. Oz identifies some incredibly common traps here. And look, let's be real, we've all been guilty of that lightning-fast 2.3-second text reply at some point, right? Add in relentless compliments, handing out gifts way too early, and being absolutely terrified to just say no. Guys usually do this thinking they're showing how much they care. But Oz argues that when a woman sees a man bending over backwards like this, her gut instinct tells her he's just trying way too hard. Subconsciously, she knows he's not a rare catch.
Oz sums up this dangerous dynamic perfectly with this quote from the source: "You're the prize, I'm the applicant." When you overpursue a woman, you are subconsciously beaming this exact message right at her. You're voluntarily handing over all your power and making yourself just another random applicant in a very, very long line.
Let's move on to section 2, emotional imprinter.
So what's the actual psychological science behind standing out? It's a concept called emotional imprinting. Now, this goes far, far beyond basic physical attraction. It happens when someone subconsciously associates feelings of deep safety, silly playfulness, or just a really grounding energy directly with you. I absolutely love the metaphor Owned uses in the source material for this. She says the goal is to trigger an emotional memory that sticks on her body like perfume on a pillow. If you can achieve that, you live rent-free in her head, completely regardless of how many other options are blowing up her phone.
Okay, let's look at exactly how you do this with a practical, real-world example. Imagine she is having a rough day at work. The forgettable, totally predictable, nice guy text is something like, "I'm so sorry, let me know if you want to talk." Now, it's sweet, sure, but it's totally generic. Contrast that with the imprinting response. "Don't stress, I'll hold space for you." Do you see the difference there? You aren't just offering up empty words. You're offering her a safe, solid emotional escape. In fact, Otis recommends leaning all the way into that vibe with this exact framing. If it's messy, let it be messy. Real beats perfect every single time. Saying something like this shifts a man from being just another annoying notification on her screen to literally becoming her peace and her grounding energy. It creates an experience she just can't easily replicate with the other guys in her inbox.
Which brings us nicely to section 3, the power of contrast.
Here's a secret. Women are deeply drawn to mystery and layers. They aren't looking for safe, generic, easily categorizable interactions. Think about the layered man. Oz points out that owning your own contradictions is exactly what makes you intriguing. Are you highly ambitious in your career but surprisingly spiritually grounded when you're off the clock? Let her see that. Being generally outgoing but also deeply reflective prevents you from being easily put into a neat little box, and that creates an irresistible sense of mystery.
And to complement those layers, you really need to throw in some unpredictable moves. Skip the standard boring dinner and a movie dates. Try something like a sip and paint, a pottery class, a random late-night drive, or even just sending a thoughtful check-in text right when she least expects it. Oz calls the ability to seamlessly shift a conversation from lighthearted laughter to something truly deep becoming a drama-free emotional roller coaster. And trust me, it is highly addictive because it is just so incredibly rare to find.
Now, if you want a literal masterclass in sparking that mystery, Oz provides this highly specific, brilliant line for you to use. Most guys just want to impress you, but I want you to remember me. and I think you will. Delivering a line like this calmly and confidently forces her to stop and wonder why you are so self-assured. It instantly triggers curiosity, confidence, and mystery, all at the exact same time. It's a real game changer.
Moving into Section 4, Scarcity and Urgency.
This brings us to the actual mechanics of emotional strength, and why being perfectly fine without her is precisely what draws her in. Take a hard look at the message needy behavior actually sends. Overanalyzing every single text message or constantly moving your own schedule around just to accommodate her communicates a really dangerous subconscious signal. I need your validation. Without it, I'm incomplete. Women instinctively read this as emotional weakness. True emotional strength, on the other hand, requires real self-reliance.
So how do you actually project that kind of security? Well, Oz gives us 4 super practical steps. Step 1, simply do not be available 24/7. Have a life. Step 2, match your energy. If she takes 2 hours to reply to a text, you definitely shouldn't be replying in 2 minutes. Step 3, stick to your own plans. If you have the gym or a hangout with your friends lined up, go do that. Do not cancel for her. And step 4, show that you actually enjoy your own life by posting about your personal growth, not just posting to get her attention. Always remember, scarcity creates desire.
Finally, we've arrived at Section 5, the ultimate power move.
Now, this is the exact stage where so many guys just completely lose the plot. They start doubling their efforts to win her over precisely at the moment when they should actually be pulling back. It all comes down to this one fundamental psychological rule. People never chase what's freely available. They chase what they fear losing. By subtly withdrawing your energy, rather than suffocating her with attention, you activate a primal fear in her of losing something truly valuable.
Let's look at how this plays out in reality. Say she starts giving you mixed signals. The predictable guy panics and desperately starts seeking clarity. What are we? Did I do something wrong? But the rare man? He remains totally indifferent and simply matches her effort. If she randomly cancels a date, instead of getting visibly upset or passive-aggressive, you just reply, "All good. Another friend invited me out anyway." Boom. Just like that, you remain completely emotionally unaffected and you demonstrate massive social value.
And look, if real boundaries do need to be set, Oz provides this completely game-free script you can use. I enjoy what we have, but I only invest in people who equally invest in me. If that changes, I'll respectfully step back. Delivering this line establishes immediate, undeniable respect. It tells her crystal clearly that you choose yourself first, which instantly shifts the power dynamic right back into balance.
Which leaves us with this final, genuinely provocative thought to chew on. Could your absolute willingness to walk away be the exact reason she actually decides to stay? It is the ultimate irony in Nash's framework. The man who doesn't feel the need to win the competition, who is totally secure in himself and genuinely willing to walk away, is the only man she will ever truly fear losing. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this completely shifts how you approach your own dynamic out there.